Welcome to this explainer. I want you to imagine, just for a second, an ancient, weathered map laid out across an old wooden table. Picture the warm, flickering glow of candlelight dancing across faded parchment, illuminating these mysterious shadows and hidden symbols that are just waiting to be deciphered. Well, today, we're going to look right past the modern map that we all know so well, and we're going to read the hidden pages of a story that happened literally right beneath our feet. We're exploring the hidden foundations of pre-colonial America, shedding light on a vast, intricate world that existed long, long before the history we typically learn in school even began. So what if one of America's absolute biggest stories has just been hiding in plain sight this whole time? It's a pretty fascinating thought, isn't it? We walk down paved streets, we look up at these towering skyscrapers and drive across endless highways, and we rarely stop to think about the vibrant, bustling civilizations that walked the exact same soil centuries or even millennia before us. Consider this an invitation to solve a massive historical mystery, to dust off the earth and reveal a breathtaking reality that has actually always been here, just quietly waiting for us to rediscover it. Okay, let's dive right into this. If we were to zoom way, way out and look at the North American landscape thousands of years ago, we absolutely wouldn't see some empty, untouched wilderness. No. Long before modern America existed, millions of indigenous people lived across a vast, deeply thriving continent. We are talking about beautifully cultivated fields, flowing rivers that basically acted as major superhighways, and peaceful daily life unfolding outside thousands of wooden homes. From the coastlines all the way into the dense forests, gentle smoke rose into the morning sky from countless interconnected communities. Honestly, the sheer scale and the success of these ancient societies is just staggering. Section 1. The Forgotten Metropolises, Ancient Urban Centers. 1,000 years ago. Now, to really put that into perspective, long before the towering cities of today were even a thought, a massive urban center was already thriving right in the heart of the continent. While parts of Europe were busy navigating the Middle Ages, North America had its very own bustling hubs of culture, commerce, and architecture that would easily rival many major cities across the globe at that exact same time. Let's look a little closer at what one of those cities was. Cahokia. It was this ancient North American city renowned for its enormous ceremonial earthen mounds and incredibly bustling marketplaces. Imagine just flying over a giant, meticulously engineered ceremonial mound, and then descending into the vibrant, beating heart of a metropolis right under a golden sunset. The streets were alive. Crowds of people gathered daily to exchange food, craft stone tools, and trade beautiful pottery. You see, Cahokia wasn't just a settlement. It was a highly complex, thriving urban ecosystem. And Cahokia, along with cities like it, survived and thrived because they were deeply connected. Ancient trade networks actually spanned thousands of miles. Indigenous traders traveled by carefully carved canoes down vast river systems, and they walked intricate forest trails across some truly dramatic landscapes. And what were they carrying? Well, we're talking valuable shells from the coasts, copper from the Great Lakes, razor-sharp obsidian, and incredibly colorful pottery. These definitely weren't isolated groups. They were part of a continent-wide web of commerce and culture, sharing big ideas and valuable goods across vast, vast distances. But, as we know, the story takes a monumental turn. Then, everything began to change with the arrival of European sailing ships. Picture looking out over a calm ocean on a quiet morning and slowly seeing these tall, wooden sailing ships emerging from the thick, dramatic fog toward the coastline. This exact moment in time acted as a profound turning point. The world that had thrived there for thousands of years was about to face an entirely unprecedented shift. Section 2. The Invisible Enemy, a Silent Tragedy. Before the arrival, we had millions of people living in thriving, highly interconnected civilizations. But after that arrival, a silent, totally invisible tragedy unfolded. Diseases brought from across the ocean spread incredibly rapidly. Actually, they often moved a lot faster along those ancient trade routes than the explorers themselves did. This wasn't just a clash of cultures. It was a biological devastation. Countless lives were forever changed or lost before many settlers had even stepped foot on the land. It left these once vibrant villages totally quiet and abandoned, slowly being reclaimed by the mist and the surrounding forests. And the echoes of that quietness, well, they kind of carried over into our modern understanding. For generations, much of this history received very little attention in classrooms. It's almost as if you were to open an old, dusty history book in a dimly lit library, only to realize that the absolute most foundational illustrations and chapters were just buried underneath newer pages. The monumental scale of these pre-colonial civilizations was often completely glossed over or entirely hidden, which ultimately left us with a really incomplete picture of the American continent's true legacy.
Section 3. Rediscovering the Past. Unearthing Truths.
Today, though, there is this incredibly hopeful and exciting quest to unearth the truth, step by step. Modern archaeological discovery often starts at sunrise with the really careful excavation of ancient sites. It involves the meticulous, gentle brushing away of soil to reveal centuries-old pottery and finely crafted stone tools. Every single artifact pulled from the earth is like a lost voice being found all over again. Through these careful scientific steps, we are constantly extending our understanding of the past. We're peeling back the layers of the earth to literally rewrite our history books with the rich, vibrant truth of those who came before us. So when we piece the whole American story together, a completely new picture emerges. 1,000 years ago, we had ancient, sprawling indigenous civilizations and massive earthworks. Centuries ago, we saw the arrival of settlers and a wave of dramatic, irreversible change. And today, well, we look at modern American cities and towering skylines. But when you view it all laid out like this, you realize it's all just a single, continuous thread. The story of America didn't begin when a document was signed. It began thousands of years ago, rooted deeply in the ancient civilizations that first shaped this land. And I think that brings us to a really profound realization. History isn't only about what we remember, it's also about what we rediscover. The past and the present share the exact same landscape. When you watch the sunrise over a modern city skyline today, you are watching the exact same sun that rose over the great earthen mounds of Cahokia. By rediscovering these hidden foundations, we don't just learn a bunch of facts about the past. We gain a much deeper, more respectful understanding of the very land we live on today. We have literally only just scratched the surface of the secrets buried beneath our feet. The world is absolutely full of lost cities, forgotten trade routes, and untold stories just waiting for someone to brush away the dust. So I'll leave you with this final thought. What hidden history should we explore next?